everybody, and welcome to my presentation. Okay, this is my Twitter account. I have about 4,000 followers and 4,500 tweets, about 400 photos and videos. I tweet information about language learning, translation, educational tweets, self-improvement, also about translation. And I give followers tasks, translation tasks to work on. In my presentation, I'm trying to describe the Twitter collaborative translation environment, the process of teaching and practicing translation via Twitter, the kinds of translation topics, issues, problems tweeted, and the kinds of tasks emphasized, feedback, my role, and the followers' role. And also I'm going to describe the interaction between me and the followers themselves, and then report the followers' views and also my own views on our experience. The participants consisted of 315 active participants, not all 4,000. 77% of those were female, 23 were male, 4% had a PhD degree. Most of the participants were majoring in translation, linguistics, language learning, or teaching. Some of them were translation instructors, and also anybody interested in translation could join. All of them were native speakers of Arabic, and English was their second language. They have a variety of academic levels, BA, MA, PhD, and also different proficiency levels and translation experience. My tweet sample consisted of 150 tweets that required performance of a translation task with their replies, and 300 awareness raising and background knowledge tweets, and followers, they only read those. The first type of tweets, tweets that enhance followers' translation skills, competence, and performance, such as locating translation errors in words, phrases, sentences, and short text. And they had to correct those errors and also explain why and stuff like that. The second type of tweets, raising students' awareness. And here I tweeted meanings of prefixes, suffixes, roots, and technical terms. I tweeted translation tips, Arabization techniques, explanations of translation problems, specialized online dictionaries, machine translation tools, images of some translation conference presentation slides. What the followers did whenever I tweeted a translation task, they corrected the translation errors, but followers with faulty responses, they had to think over their responses and retweet their answers. They did this several times until they reached the correct translation. Some asked questions about translation. I made comments on each response. I put out the location and type of error. I did not provide correct translation right away, even when some participants tweeted questions. I tweeted prompts, tips, resources, while the followers were thinking and working on their responses to help them gain knowledge and reach a correct answer. I reinforced correct responses and gave words of encouragement. Now I'm gonna describe the tweet analytics. Briefly, as far as translation task tweets are concerned, for impressions, The range was between 176 and 11,000 for engagements. The range was 3 to 3,600 for likes, between 0 and 24, for retweets between 0 and 11, and for replies between 0 and 24. And the figures here show the median. For the awareness-raising tweets, the impressions range between 570 and 4,474. The engagements range between 28 and 694. The retweets range between 2 and 25, and the likes range between 3 and 24, and the replies range between 0 and 4. And these are the medians. Now, I analyzed 6 aspects of interaction in my translation community. First of all, the greetings and encouragements. The participants were respectful. Some responded with greetings and colorful smileys. Some had a good sense of humor. Follower-initiated tweets were limited when they made. This was only explicit when they made comments and compliments. Some requested information about resources or judging a translation of an assignment. Some asked how they could improve their translation skills. Some asked for books and on translation, and some asked me how they could apply for an MA in translation. The forms of address were mostly formal. I used standard Arabic for tweeting questions, tasks, and explanations, and for tweeting meanings, word meanings, and translation. Colloquial or non-standard Arabic was mostly used in followers' replies. English was used less than 40%, mostly for making announcements. As far as interaction between my followers and myself, the percentage of dynamic or active participants was very low, only 7%, because I don't know most of the participants personally, and also they don't know each other, and there was a low level of interest, maybe because they are busy. Some feel shy, hesitant, and inadequate to make a comment in public, and some use a nickname or just their first name. Commitment was not high, maybe because no exams, no grades, no credit, no participation certificates were given. No consistency in who replied to the different tweets. Some participants would reply to few tweets here, others would reply to a few tweets there, and would not reply again. It was not possible to predict which topic, which task, which question would receive high replies, likes, and retweets. I gave the followers a questionnaire survey, and responses to the questionnaire survey showed positive attitudes towards translation instruction via Twitter. They described my account as enriching, specialized, inspiring, unique, exquisite, useful, helpful, fun. They like it. They said it helped them brush up their knowledge and provided them with extra practice. The learning environment was fun, supportive, encouraging, and secure for making mistakes. They found the topical language and translation resources and translation issues tweeted useful and helpful. As far as my views are concerned, interaction with followers was fun, but it was a 24-hour commitment. Every time I asked a question and they responded to it, they expected an instant feedback on my part. It is challenging to deal with unknown followers with varying proficiency and translation skill levels. It was time consuming to respond to each and every follower. It was difficult to keep up with the speed and amount of tweets and retweets on the part of the followers. Some asked for help in homework, and I didn't do that. I didn't help them with homework. Not my own homework, of course, homework with other instructors. Followers are used to rote memorization. They didn't want to strain their brain by thinking or checking resources. So they would ask for a direct answer from me. To conclude, Twitter can create opportunities for in-depth peer-to-peer and student-instructor interaction. It can support collaborative knowledge creation and sharing in an academic environment. Of course, a combination of face-to-face and teaching via Twitter is the best mix. And I recommend the integration of other technologies with Twitter, such as Periscope or some video conferencing software or YouTube. I created a YouTube channel to supplement my Twitter or instruction via Twitter. If you are planning to use Twitter when teaching a particular course, it's better to keep it closed and limited to the students in that course so that they feel more free and relaxed to respond and participate. If I have a couple of minutes, I would like to show you some of the tweets here. Now, these are examples of two texts with their translation with errors, and I asked them to correct the errors. And here also, explanation and error correction for text in figure 1, because they could not correct the error. So I usually I would type my explanation and then make it an image and post it as an image. So this is an image of my explanation and error correction. And here, for example, this is for the women's prayer room. They say chapel women. So here there are two mistakes, of course, because they use the word chapel and also word order. So I asked them to correct it. This was posted on a mosque. And this is an example of the prefixes, some prefixes with examples and their Arabic equivalents. And here, common translation errors and correct equivalence. Okay, and sample responses and interaction. I would say thank you, good for you, something like that. For example, it went viral. They thought it was a virus, so they were telling me, "Oh, it's virus." And then different people responded differently. One even said, related it to television, which was very funny. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for listening. And if you have any questions, please write them in the chat box, or you can send them to me via email or via my Twitter account.
Of course, Twitter by all means. Thank you very much, Professor Al-Jarf. It's been a pleasure listening to you. I suppose you're speaking all the way from Riyadh?
Yes.
Right. We're here in Romania. Spring is coming. Thank you very much.
I know. I've been there in spring, in April, but this was in 2009.
So questions, if you have any, please, you're welcome to ask them or write them in the chat. Myself, I can say that I subscribe to the Arab World English Journal. There's very interesting stuff there. And I was going to ask you, but I think you already gave the answer in one of your slides. You practically need to be there for your students nonstop. You're
Yes.
like a help desk. Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
How much work? How How do you manage? Do you have any tips for interested parties?
Well, I would just set time aside to respond to the followers. But sometimes, of course, this is just part of the study. There are other results that I did not mention. For example, students or the followers did not read each other's responses. They would give the same answer. So I would answer or respond once and then tell them, okay, read my response to previous uh, answers, because they repeat the same thing, the same mistake. So I do not respond to, like, repeat my response to all repetitive responses. I would respond once and then direct them, tell them, please read each other's responses. But I would
Thank you very
set
much.
time aside, yeah. And I didn't tweet tasks on a daily basis, once a week, once every 2 weeks, like that. But if I do it on a daily basis, no, I cannot handle it. It will be too much.
Definitely, it looks like a very useful pedagogic resource and something that is really 21st century. Anyone else with a question, please? It's now or never, because we need to move on. All right. Thank you again. I will just a second.